Englewood, Chicago is a training grounds for people to change the rest of the world. You come to Englewood, you come out of here changed forever. And you best believe you have the tools you need to heal the rest of the world. So through the events that we had, like this summer, through JoYful SoundZ, the company that I have now, which is a percussive collective, but we also collaborate with other instruments or artists to create an experience, a healing experience to change the narratives in our communities. That's what this is about. And so it is called the jump off. Why? Because it jumps off. We plan it, we set a structure, but we really don't have any idea of how it's gonna turn out. Like this Sunday, I could not have asked for something better. I just know how to bring the people together, and I do it through spirit.
So this is my hometown. I was born and raised here in Englewood, Chicago, went to Holy Angels. After graduating from Holy Angels, I graduated with honors. I was a teacher, naturally. It wasn't even something that I grew up wanting to do. You know what I'm saying? It was just something that just kind of came. Most of our youth really don't know how to critically think. And to be able to teach it and engrave it in them through action and not just talking about it, that's what I use the outdoors for. I went into other places, so I got a job with the military base, and I ran their aquatics department, and that's when I ran into a sister, Ramatu, who was the artistic director for a group called Manga African Dance. And Giwan Mata was an all women's African dance, drumming, and singing ensemble. And these women were breaking ground on drumming, the type of drums that they were playing, the type of music that they were playing, at the level that they were playing them at. When you're doing something so good like that, you get people that's gonna talk. You know, they have all these things to say. And what I used to hear was so discouraging for me to actually reach out to this group, because here I am now still struggling with my identity as it relates to sexuality. And you hearing all these things that they're saying about these women that's playing drums. They shouldn't be, just without me going into it, I'll just let you use your imagination. But when you see them, they were changing things. They were actually changing the vibration in the very area that they would play. A big revolution for women that saw themselves a certain way that maybe the rest of the world didn't. It wasn't necessarily just because I'm drumming. You know what I'm saying? That just was a tool. And so I said, yo, I tell you what, because she had her children and she wanted them to learn how to swim. I said, I tell you what, you teach me how to drum and I'll teach your children how to swim. I now am an apprentice drummer for Manga. I started off on djembe. Most people or drumming, they don't start off on the djembe. You start off on the dunes and you bring yourself up that way. She dropped me on the djembe. She connected me with another mentor, which his name was Stone Montgomery, cold as ice. I'm so glad I came up that way, because had I not, I would not see the importance of who our elders are and why stories are passed down the way they are. That gap is missed because of a lot of pain and suffrage that has happened. It's almost like, just like I felt like I wasn't good enough to be out here with these girls. You know what I'm saying? But they need women like me. They need to see women exactly like me that's not gonna waver. That's not gonna, I'm gonna still speak if my lips tremble, and you're gonna hear what's really inside of me. Because it is a reflection, believe it or not, on things from the past and what's to come. So make a long story short, I did a lot of these things always thinking of my home. Again, I went away at the age of 13. And so it was just like my life built there, but I would always think about my friends at home, how I was accepted around here. This block, even being around here was nothing like it was when I left. We had a loyalty for each other, towards each other that I don't see anymore. And even within like the gang language, there was a respect that you have for the old OGs, you know, that I don't see anymore around here. The first thing I did was I went to the neighborhood. I saw all the different outreach organizations that were participating or doing something in Englewood. I connected with the ones that I thought resonated with me. I also went to the Park District because at the time, if you know, there was a lot of money that was given to Englewood to end violence. And so I'm thinking like, what's my give on it? Because I know what my community, how my community gets down and what's going on over here, things I hear. So what's gonna be my give? In comes some of the guys from the hood. And they coming up there to pretty much heat the food up or whatever, and they see me on the floor and they thinking I was down there praying. And they were like, oh, excuse me. I was like, no problem, I'm not praying. He's like, oh, you doing something for the kids. He's like, now that I can get with stuff for the kids. I said, really? That's what's up. I said, because really, I want to do for y'all. Because the younger children they got a lot of programming, but I want to know what y'all want. What is it that y'all want? And he started to talk about some of the things that were going on in the neighborhood. He was like, yo, these kids, they disrespectful. He said, they disrespectful, they not listening. He said, we can't get them to listen. Being said, when he told me that, I was like, yo, y'all need a voice. You need to be heard. They need to hear your stories so that we can now begin to connect and relate and close these gaps. There are also things that you all are not hearing, which is why you keep creating some of the things that we're seeing out on the street. And that is how True Chat, a community podcast, was birthed. And from there, all the different things that I do are just tools to create the environment that I want to see. So me being away out there and the different places that I have traveled was to build the different skills and the know-how to come back to give it to my community.